a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You ain't see me activated. You better hope that you never see me agitated. I think about my actions, plan them out, evaluated. That's how I end up on the top, man, I'm calculated. My mind's a weapon, my body is the engine. I'm never second guessing, I just do what I was destined. Cause I feel I got the blessing, persistence and obsession. That's how you keep progressing, I already learned that lesson, yeah. I'm changing who I am, I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You can't stop what's moving, you can't stop what's moving. I'm changing my life, and I won't look back ever again. No fear, see clear, you deserve to be great. I know it feels like things get in your way. Push through those walls and the others will fall. Sit up, stand tall, you can get through it all. I need some energy, anxiety's no friend to me. I have a short memory, I don't really remember things. That's how I move on, that's how I stay strong. A new day's on, I'll keep moving right along. And I feel like the pain in the past, it needs to stay in the past. You gotta take off the cast. I wanna feel like I'm a new person. I wanna have clear vision and purpose. And I feel like the pain shouldn't last. If you can move on and past the things that make you feel bad, and you can change in your brain, I'm certain. I've done it before, and man, I'm not perfect. I'm changing who I am, I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You can't stop what's moving, you can't stop what's moving. I'm changing my life, and I won't look back ever again.
This is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
It's your boy Miguel Z with the Value of Wrestling New Japan Rebound Podcast. I've got a guest for you folks at StocktonCon.
What up, everybody? AJ Kirsch here, the voice and the host of StocktonCon. The value of wrestling is awesome, so subscribe on YouTube. Scan the QR code right here, now. Subscribe, check it out.
There we go.
You'll be glad you did.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, that part. Hey, man, shout out the Value of Wrestling. I'm right here with the Big Oos, San Jose. We done shut the shit down. Love and respect, though, man. Value of Wrestling. Hello.
Man, thank you, brother. Thank
Oh, you didn't know? Well, then I don't know where you were earlier, because we told you we'd be back. We'd be back. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we were back with your AEW Dynasty post-show review right here on a YouTube, right here on the Value of Wrestling. Welcome back. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Clarke, for your comments in the chat that just threw everything out the window. He was just like, "Poof, what? Where were we?"
Eating corn the long way?
Oh. Somebody eats the corn the long way and it's fed to him by the Youngbucks, but we'll get into that later. Welcome to your Dynasty Post-Show Review for April 21st, 2024. This is the Value of Wrestling right here on YouTube. Welcome to the show. Join in the chat below. Tell us what you thought of tonight's show. Was it awesome? Was it good? Was it average? Or was it just plain vanilla? And if you don't get it, well, I'm going to tell you about vanilla in a little bit here, because we're going to talk vanilla, because, oh boy, was some things vanilla tonight. Gentlemen, welcome.
Mexican vanilla.
No. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the big time, along with my co-host right here, Paulus, Clarke, and Mr. Miguel Z. And we are all here to go over all this thing. Gentlemen, say hello to the audience.
Orderly, homies.
There you go. AEW Dynasty. Okay, Mr. Z, I know you're still choked up about what you know. If that's how Mr. Clarke feels, that's how he feels. And my only question was, you have experience with that. Is that what you're trying to tell us? Is this what you do in your off hours? Have you started an OF and you just haven't shared the details with us? You know.
How I make my money is my own concern. You guys still need to know that.
Whoa! Back up! I was talking to Mr. Clarke. The statement came from him, and what he was talking about. Now you're opening foot, insert mouth, spilling the beans. So one of you's on Jasmine or whatever it is, and the other one's on OF. Okay, awesome, great. You know. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this has been your
content of a lot of things.
This has been your Dynasty post review show. We thank you for joining us. We will see you on the next one. We're gonna get out of here off on that note. Anywho, welcome to the degenerate.
0 hour.
Welcome to the degenerates of podcasting of the IWC. If you knew us back in the day, you understand not a whole lot's changed. We grew up. But you can't take the degenerate out of the degenerate, that is for sure. Anywho.
I just say one
Welcome.
thing about tonight. Someone needs to take away Tony Khan's Twitter. Please.
People, they just need to ban him. They just need to change his password and ban him. Period. End of story. Anyways, we had 3 matches on 0 hour. You had the first 30 minutes where they were hyping up the pay-per-view, and then we got into 3 really quick matches, and we opened with Trent Beretta versus Matt Sydal. Basically, because Trent Beretta needed to establish Trent Beretta on the pay-per-view, but it's really 0 hours, so it just feels cheap. But the big thing here, the only reason Matt Sydal was in this match, because he's from St. Louis and his family. So Matt Sydal came out with his brother, and he lost to Trent Beretta. The match went 8 minutes, 11 seconds.
Let me ask you this real quick.
Go ahead.
Wait.
You're saying the only reason that Matt Sydal was there was because he's from St. Louis. Okay, so what if they would have went with Mike Sydal instead? I'm assuming he's from the same spot.
I would have said the same thing. If that was the whole when they pretty much introduced him, it was St. Louis, and the whole commentary team were like, "Oh yeah, it's a St. Louis boy," and then they showed his family. So I mean, they were selling, and so the only reason Matt Sydal was in this match because he's from St. Louis. Tell me the last time Matt Sydal did anything important.
That's a separate entity altogether. He's been spending more time in Ring of Honor than he has AEW TV, so...
Well, but AEW they don't blend Ring of Honor and AEW TV. It's kind of like they don't blend... They're starting to blend NXT with WWE main roster, but for a long time,
right.
It was like NXT was this whole separate thing, so when the character came to the main roster, it was like a whole whitewash. So, I mean...
But the reason I bring it up is so people know where he's been.
Oh, I understand that. I just wanted for me, it's like, okay, if he's on AEW, but they don't show you Ring of Honor or make that connection, then to me on AEW, when I see him, because I don't watch Ring of Honor, because Tony ruins enough AEW that I just can't get there.
Right.
So to me, it's like, what has he done? So there you go.
Hey, real quick, Mr. Big Time, you got to switch us, dog, because his Twitter line is under mine.
Well.
Oh, I wasn't even looking at that. You're right.
Give me 2 seconds here. We can do this, maybe. Hold on. Oh, I got to get over here.
Well,
see the
ask
real
me
Wyatt?
anything now? You can go into Twitter. You can say King Bowser. I'll answer it for him.
Yeah.
You can send stuff to Paulus Clarke, and he'll send it, and he'll answer for me, I guess. Jeez.
They got I see Real Wyatt is juiced about Swerve winning the belt. We all are. That was looked pretty good to me. I mean, I got no complaints about that one.
Now, notice, you have every right to have those 2 flags behind you today. Both
Yes.
won.
Yes.
Sort of.
Yes.
I say sort
Match
of.
of the year. Match of the year.
Hey, the history books do not care about your sort of. It's either 1 or 2, black or white. Either they won or they didn't.
Yes, but the bottom one there, the safety scissors, the box cutter.
Sesame Timbers.
Yes, he's better known as Mr. 0 Hour. Anyways, Real White, welcome to the show. Let me get this fixed. Is that better? Is everybody happy now?
Yes.
Okay.
No, wait a minute. Oh, well, mine's on the lag anyways. Mine's always behind you guys. I don't know yet.
We're good.
Well, it should come up here in a minute. Everything should be gravy train, like a boat train on a flying train, and main train, the main train, main train.
There it goes.
I just got
There
one
you go.
another one question.
What?
Marty was on fire tonight. I just wanted everyone to know. You follow
Well,
Marty on Twitter. He was on fire.
You and Marty have a competition trying to get banned by the Youngbucks, so we'll see what happens.
I applaud Marty because he was on point tonight.
Marty can't stand the Youngbucks. They're uneducated, but that's a Marty stance.
So wait a minute though. Speaking of that three-way race, how's your wife doing?
She's asleep right now. I'll ask her in the morning.
Gotcha. Okay, fair.
Oh man.
AEW has a new T-shirt called the Scapegoat T-shirt for Jack Perry. So the Scapegoat's coming to yeah. There you go. Don't know what to say. He's They're getting the Scapegoat on the brand that made him the Scapegoat.
Did you hear the commentary? He's not supposed to be here. He should be going to jail. That's trespassing. And
we'll get there.
Retarded.
We're going to debate there.
We're going to get there. Anyway, Shrimp Bread wins 11 minutes, 8 seconds, which probably should have been the shortest match on the card, but didn't wind up being the shortest match on the card because, well, Toni will get there. Anyways, afterwards, Shrimp continues the assault. Seidel's brother had to get in the ring and help break it up. This then brought out Chuck Taylor, and then Trent Beretta rolled out of the ring. Trent Beretta came out to the best friends see music and things, so he hasn't got new music. He then told Chuck Taylor, "You better tell me what you're going to do on Wednesday." And Chuck just kind of looked like a sad little boy. He's just probably a little bit above that Kyle O'Reilly look right now. At least his hair hasn't gone completely wild. Anyways, when Shrimp Beretta leaves, here comes Orange Cassidy. He walks out. They don't really do anything. You know, Orange Cassidy got punked out by his friend, and Orange Cassidy just comes and looks at him, lets him run away. So, Orange Cassidy has fallen from his mighty throne, and he's tagging up with Katsuyori Shibata to take on Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty. This match started right after the last match. A decent tag match for 0 Hour. Again, there was nothing important to say here. A crucifix by OC, Orange Punch, 1, 2, 3, Orange Cassidy, and Shibata win at 12 minutes, 43 seconds. 3 stars. I can live with that. It is what it is. Yeah. Anything you guys want to add to these two matches, or should I keep rolling?
No. Just, go. Shoot.
I mean, the fact that Orange Cassidy saw Trent Beretta in person, was in between him and the ring, and did nothing. What the hell is this storytelling? You get punked out, what was it, a week ago? If that? And you just look at him like, I have honor, sir. No! I'm beating your ass.
And that's how Orange Cassidy should be.
Pockets?
Yes, pockets. Pockets should be attacking, not just like, okay. Anyways, from there, Max Caster wraps the Acclaim to the entrance. And then they cut the music, and then he goes on, "I'll violate you so bad you have to tell the legal about the taste of my DICK." And Bowens grabs the mic from him. I'm like, okay, cool. We're getting really over stupid here with the Acclaim. They're trying to push this envelope.
Yes. But at least the point where Bowens was trying to take the mic away, even though it didn't work, he didn't do it fast enough.
No, but they're trying to push this envelope that doesn't really need to be pushed with them. It's like, cool, you do the rap gimmick.
This was on a pay-per-view, not to regular TV.
I know.
So it doesn't have to be as family-friendly.
I'm not worried about that necessarily. I just like the Acclaim doesn't really do much. So to try and get them over with pops by pushing the envelope, it's like.
But that's been Max Caster's MO
I know.
From the start.
But remember he was going for a minute forgetting his rap, so I mean it just made no sense to me.
Wasn't he forgetting or screwing up his raps the last few times he's been on? Now all of a sudden he does good. I'm just like, what is our storyline? Anyways, they're taking on the Bang Bang Gang, the Acclaim and Daddy Ass versus Bang Bang Gang. All the titles on the line. The Ring of Honor six-man tags and the AEW Trios tags. Whoever wins gets to unify the belts, and who knows what they're going to be called. I guess the AEW Ring of Honor multi-man titles of 6 of trios or something. I don't know.
New belts, everybody.
Possibly, who knows? I could see the Bang Bang Gang wearing the scissor belts around just because. But anywho, the Bang Bang Gang wins. They win the unified matches. Jay White gets a pin here with the Blade Runner. Holy shit! Mr. 0 Hour picks up a big win, and yeah, match went 14 minutes 47 seconds. 3 stars. I can live with that.
I was very happy. That's all I'm going to say. The fact that Jay White and the Ass Boys and the Guns got the tops. I don't care about hook or by crook. That to me, even though it was on the 0 hour, like that's some big drop down. Like they weren't going to be main eventers. You know,
my moment from the night actually during that match was when the 3 count hit. My son jumps up, shouts at the top of his lungs, guns up. I was like, all right, that did it for me tonight. I was okay with that.
Heck yes.
No, I get that, but it's just the fact that it's been very heavily pointed out that Jay White only seems to wind up on the 0 hour. That's kind of where I'm pointing. It's just like a man who's coming from New Japan, who is a former leader of Bullet Club, who has more, should have more to him, is being regulated to 0 hour. And this title match was way better than some of the other title matches that came. And so I feel, again, it was justified to be on the main card when you could have had a FTW title on 0 hour.
I thought it was on the main card until you guys were talking off air before the show. It's like, oh no, it's
they
gonna be on the
changed it. They changed it. I wonder why.
With this company, I take what I can get. Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of my attitude about it at this point.
Anyways, Marty went out and said this, though. He said, well, since you want to admit it, Austin Gunn came out and said, who's an ass boy now? Guns up. And Marty Richards replied saying, well, since you want to admit it, does that mean Jay White likes hashtag ass boys? I guess that is better than tampon bucks at Youngbucks. Rather guns up than tampons up.
Yeah, I read that live. I was like, oh Lord.
Yeah.
It is Marty. It is Marty. Anyways,
like I said, he was on fire tonight. I can't knock it.
Yeah, I know you like the he eats corn the straight way. Yeah, the long way. Marty said the tampon bucks made him do it. Anywho, to the main card, we open with the AEW Continental Championship. Kazuchika Okada versus Pac. Okada defending his championship. Pac comes out to what is actually a pretty good entrance. I like how they do it through the little holes as he comes up the entranceway. And so you get kind of interested. Pac came out, and if you were here earlier today on the roundup, you know what I'm about to do, because I told you if Okada came out in the freaking gear that he came out and wrestled with last night, I was going to go off. What the hell is wrong with this, Mr. Z? This is Okada, the longest reigning IWGP champion, a 5-year reigning IWGP champion, one of the greatest wrestlers in New Japan Pro Wrestling, one of the legends in the name. If you had a Mount Rushmore for New Japan Wrestling, he's pretty much on it. And he's been presented as this great thing, the Rainmaker over in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He comes to AEW, and he looks vanilla. Not vanilla midget, but just vanilla. I mean, it's like vanilla ice cream. He's boring. He's plain. It's simple. It's nothing. It's just like, why? Why can he not have... I mean, he's making big money. We know he's making 6 figures. Why can't he buy more ring gear? Who is letting him come out in the same crappy ring gear? We know he's going back home and coming here. I mean, how can he not grab different gear? It's a freaking pay-per-view. I know Mr. Clarke defended him when he's like, hey, it's TV, you know. But it's a pay-per-view.
Well, yeah.
Should he not come out feeling like he's something special? Should he not come out in some type of different gear? Should he not at least some slight difference to feel like it's a different event? Something freaking different. Not vanilla ice cream, the same shit every week. It's the same stupid crap. You have built this guy and then you set him up with the tampon bucks so he looks like horse manure. And Tony Khan is ruining this man. And I'm not even a New Japan Pro Wrestling fan. That is your lane. And I'm the one going, what the hell are they doing with this guy? This is a champion. This is like the golden touch. There was such a big deal about recruiting him. And they bring him in, and each and every week they make him look boring. Go ahead. The floor is yours now.
I said it's like what Roman Reigns has said. It's like missionary. Every single night, the same damn thing. He has more gear. Should I do a slideshow on the next rebound and let people know that there's more gear?
Please, because I don't believe it anymore.
I'm done defending him.
I think Jimmy Wang Yang had more ring gear than Kazuchika Okada. Hell, Jamie Noble's ring gear was...
We're putting over Jimmy Wang Yang, and we're putting over Tozawa over Okada.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I wish they would do it. The Youngbucks should sit there and go, Okada, that's nasty. I mean, at least maybe they'll get him over with something. Anything. Can they give him anything? I mean, maybe he needs to be in a Judy Bagwell on a forklift match so he can win Judy Bagwell and have something for his gimmick. This is boring. I mean...
Well, wouldn't it be Sue at this point?
Well, sure, why not? Sue, Billy Bob, Tony Khan's mom, whoever you want to bring in. Tony Khan's dad. Whoever's mom. Maybe you put, what's her name? Dana Massey, isn't that one of the Young Bucks' wife? Maybe she's on the forklift and Okada wins her. Whatever. I mean, he needs something. I mean, is Vince Russo booking Okada? Tell me when I'm telling lies. I'm sorry. I told you guys I was gonna. If he came out in this stupid ring gear on a pay-per-view as the defending champion, looking like he has each and every week when he's supposed to be the legend, the great Kazuchika Okada, New Japan Pro Wrestling. They put him over as a five-year running IWGP, longest running IWGP champion, and he comes out looking like he's wearing Sheamus' skin around his body.
Okay then.
You put him next to you put him in that right wing and put him next to Sheamus, it look like Sheamus has a freaking tan. So come on. This is your boy. This is your lane, Mr. Miguel. This is New Japan coming to AEW and looking like, I mean, maybe they should change Okada's last name to White. Let's make Jay Okada and Kazuchika White.
Oh, man. Thanks, Mr. Khan. You're pissed off big time. Jeez.
Wait a minute. I figured it out. Okada must be hearing us saying tampon bucks, so he wants to dress up like a tampon so he matches his boys.
With the gold trim.
Where's the gold hair? Okay, yeah, I was saying no, it's trimmed silver in this outfit.
It's not pure white. His gear, you'll notice, has like little bits of like slivers of gold in it.
Yeah, it's got little silver in it. I know.
The gear he's wearing originally is supposed to be hit with a UV light, so it'll change colors. They're not doing the full
with the UV white. It's Tony Khan that broke. Is AEW in the toilet that he can't even afford a UV light? Does he need to go learn from Naomi? I mean, WWE knows how to use a black light, UV light, whatever you want to freaking call it, right? I mean, hell. Tony Khan, suck it up and go talk to Triple H and realize how to work a UV light. So, you know, if this is what that outfit's supposed to do and have a pop, let's freaking make it pop. Well, hell. He'd be more entertaining if he was teaming up with Daniel Garcia and they were the Dancing Queens. I'd be fine with it. At least it'd be some type of freaking gimmick.
As much as Big Time hates Daniel Garcia's gimmick, that is some high praise for her.
Well, I mean, tell me what this man is.
I tried. Go back on the rebound. There is a description of Okada. The best way I can do it.
What is Okada? What is Okada at AEW?
A booch.
Anyways,
it's supposed to be presented as this high cuisine, but AEW and Tony Khan presents him as chicken flavored top ramen.
Hey, don't disrespect ramen like that.
He looks like the mayonnaise on the hamburger bun bar.
Something that's premier and something that's basic, at least here in the States.
I don't know anymore.
He looks like the mayonnaise that you would go get on the hamburger bar. You're just kind of like, okay, it's there. He looks like almond milk. You know, you got milk and you got almond milk. It's just kind of there, and some people are into it, but other people are just like, no, I want the real shit.
Well, at least he said almond milk as opposed to non-fat milk.
Well, I could have said he's walnut milk. I could say he's powdered milk, you know.
Is it that condensed?
Tastier.
That condensed stuff you get at the...
Yeah, the condensed milk.
Milk is tastier.
He's non-soy milk. He's soy milk. Now. He's, you know...
Soy boy?
Hey, he can boil soy milk, and now we just got to find somebody who can be pumpkin spice, and then they can be the seasonal coffee or something. Anywho. I ran it. Okada won this.
Ideas.
This match went 21 minutes and 55 seconds. People are saying this is a 4-star, 5-star banger. They cooked. They made this match off. I'm like, no. He hit a Rainmaker that looks... It was mid. He hit a Rainmaker that just looks soft. They both do these tombstones, and it's just like, yeah, no.
Jake Roberts, at his old age, hits a better short arm clothesline than Okada. So please, Jake, we know you're there. Show this man how to do it properly.
I think Okada doing the tombstone is disrespect to the Undertaker.
I don't know if I go quite that far, but okay. Here on the
He's
Value
being
of
presented in
Wrestling,
AEW to me, yes.
Here on the Value of Wrestling, we coined Okada as soft serve because he's not hitting that short arm clothesline as well as he has in the past.
That's because he looks like vanilla ice cream.
Companies for him as a performer, I don't know. Now, him being the way he's presented, that's another story. That falls on Tony Khan. But the way he performs in the ring is on him.
Yeah.
Tony, why can't you do something with Okada to make him feel something? I get that he's a heel. He's this snobby over. He doesn't even feel like he's just there. Like, I don't even get a heel vibe from him. I don't get the rich snob or whatever heel he's trying to go for. This elitist. I just feel like he's boring. Boring. Capital B, vanilla ice cream with nothing on it. Boring.
Well, here's the problem with that, though. Some people actually like vanilla.
I mean, he's just below McDonald's soft serve ice cream when the machine works.
Key phrase, when it works.
Exactly. And he might still be just below it when the machine doesn't work. Okada wins. Was it a 4-star match? I don't know. I know everybody else is going to be like, no, it's the first time match. It was the greatest match in a lifetime. You know, we had greatness tonight. I'm not even looking at the chat.
We Japan guy is saying 2 stars.
Yes, our own New Japan guy is saying 2 stars. There's a fact you should look up. Anyways, Okada won. Then we went into another 6-man tag match because, you know, we just need 6-man tags. Just way to shove everybody on the freaking card. The Rated R Chicken Kings Hawks took on the House of Black. It was an okay match. Copeland got spat in the face with the mist as he was trying to go for a spear, and then got hit with the Black Mass. 1, 2, 3. House of Black picks up a win that I don't think we really thought was going to happen here, but House of Black wins, and you just had 3 champions. 3 champions lose to a jobber team, and I'm sorry. I love Malachi Black. I love Buddy Matthews. I love Brody King. I love the House of Black. But the way they've been presented in AEW is they have moments and then they're jobbers, and they have moments and then they're jobbers. And tonight, the jobbers beat the baby faces. And I'm assuming it's so Malachi Black can get a TNT title shot against Adam Copeland. Or Adam Copeland's going to join the House of Black and talks about wanting to go back and revamp himself and bring his Judgment Day quote-unquote character into AEW. I don't know. Hopefully none of that happens. We just get the TNT title match, and we move on from there. Another mid-card match. Nothing special. This was like, I could have watched this on Dynamite and probably been a little more acceptable to it. A Dynasty, I might know.
I don't know, because for me, like, the fact that the House of Black got a win, again, I was just happy that they got a decent win.
Yeah.
I'd be happy.
Happier about it than you were.
Well, I'd be happy if I felt like it meant anything. Like, I've been so let down of trusting Tony Khan doing anything with the House of Black. It's just like, I can't put stock into it. I feel like if I go, oh, yay, they won, then Malachi Black loses to Adam Copeland at Double or Nothing, doesn't win the TNT title, and then he gets regulated to sideshow Rampage matches against Joe, Bob, and Billy.
Like I said at the top of this show, I take what I can get. We know that TV has been BS without cussing. We know that the build sucks. So at this point, it's like, I'm taking what I can get, and I'm happy the House of Black won tonight. Will this momentum continue? I'm not praying on it. I don't have the faith.
Anyways, from there we got a House Rules TBS Championship match: Julia Hart versus Willow Nightingale. Statlander's barred from ringside, but Stokely's down there on commentary, and this is a piss poor excuse for a match in the sense that it was a decent match. I mean, I'm not going to take away from what the performers did. Julia Hart did great. Willow Nightingale coming out with the win like we predicted. I feel they just crapped all over what Julia Hart did. I mean, they went from Jade having the title to Statlander. This is the only title that nobody's had more than once so far, and it's only had 4 holders. Every other belt's had like 10 holders in 5 years, and Some people are 3-time, 5-time, 4-time champions. This is the only belt that you haven't had multi-champions, and I feel like Julia Hart had a decent run, but I felt like it didn't, they didn't really do much with her. And the other aspect of this match only went 5 minutes and 57 seconds.
Highway robbery. That's what it was on.
For Willow Nightingale and Julia Hart, who spent more time building the story than anything, got robbed here. They got a short match. Julia Hart or Willow Nightingale wins. Willow Nightingale, you're like, I love her. I think she's great. I love everything she's done, but she's getting fed to Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing. And I'm just like, I can't. It's like I want to be excited and be happy and feel like this is going to be something special, but we're talking within a month. She's going to be giving this title to Mercedes Moné, and Mercedes Moné has been presented as hot garbage. How does she get to be a champion or get a championship title match in her very first match at Double or Nothing? Why did we even introduce her at Big Business in the middle of March when we've done nothing with her but let her go out there and go, stay alive, peekaboo. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
We've all been not arguing, but we all have been talking about that.
Willow came out and celebrated with Stokely and Willow, and then Mercedes came out and did nothing. I mean, like yes, you expect Mercedes to come down, but she came down in the ring and did, woo, peekaboo, I'm CEO. Looked at Willow, looked at the title, and then left. In her Selena Vega cross dress. Or cosplay.
The story they've been telling from the start is to piggyback off of the story with the New Japan Strong Women's title, Willow and Mercedes Moné. It's just to continue that. Now the ball is in AEW's court. Why they couldn't do something original?
But I mean, they could do that, and I understand that. But it's like the way it's been presented. It just doesn't vibe. It's just Mercedes Moné going out there every week, going, staying alive. I'm here. Oh, and it's just like she did the same shit tonight on a pay-per-view. Like they didn't even have this really in-depth stare down. It didn't really build anything, and then it was like instantly, Willow Nightingale defends the TBS title against Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing in Las Vegas. Are you ready for Double or Nothing in Las Vegas? Yay! And I'm like, this pay-per-view ain't even half over, and you're already telling me to go.
We've all been complaining about this, though. All three of us.
Ratings matter.
This pay-per-view ain't even over, ever already being shoved with the next one. I'm just like, this is...
What rating are you... Ratings are for TV. What rating are you talking about in this case?
Just the rankings. The ratings.
Rankings?
Match ratings,
Rankings.
whatever.
What rankings? Who cares? Rankings only matter when Tony Khan says they matter. And Tony Khan is God.
Do they matter? Mr. Clarke could get a title match the day he signs with AEW, so let's see if we can get him signed.
I'm not about to get my butt whooped by anyone, so I'm more of a manager.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Get you and Nana in a dance off.
Oh Lord.
Who's like the biggest piece of hot garbage I can think of that, we could walk into there? I mean, who's just like, I think No Chin, what was his name? No Chin could walk into AEW and get a title shot. Yes.
James Ellsworth.
There you go. You come out of retirement and walk into AEW and get a title shot. And that's probably a fact, because Tony Khan would be like, oh my God!
Not to be rude, but is that man still alive?
I believe so. I believe so, but let's find out. Barry Horowitz, wrestler. He's still alive.
Okay.
He's old.
Go get yourself a title shot, bro.
He's 65 years old, and he lives in St. Petersburg, Florida, currently. There you go.
Come on, brother. Always stay ready.
Yeah.
Very. Anyways, from there we went, and that was the shortest match on the card. I mean, that's just asinine that they gave Willow and Julia Hart. Julia Hart, who had won the TBS title, made it feel important, and was doing something with it, dropping the Willow Nightingale on this great story, and they gave him less than 6 minutes. Garbage. That's bullcrap. This match deserved more time.
Did they show the I guess everyone's talking about the aftermath, her upset and Brody King saying let's rebuild, and then I'll take it.
Rebuild what though? Do we rebuild?
Who knows at this point? Yeah.
Anyways, the AEW International Champion. Most of these matches up until we get probably till the Ospreay Danielson match felt like matches that you could have watched on Dynamite and been like, cool. They might have been a little more. These could have all been main events there. These were just, they didn't live up to the pay-per-view hype. Anyways, from there we got the International Championship. Roderick. Huh?
There was build, there was hype.
Oh, that's my point. We had Roderick Strong versus Kyle O'Reilly for the International Championship. Kyle O'Reilly got fed to Roderick Strong like a loose meat sandwich on TV. Into heartache. This match got 17 minutes and 19 seconds with no build. And then got stomped on, really, because the match really didn't mean anything, because it was after the match. After the match, he's celebrating, and the Undisputed Kingdom's music hits, because the Undisputed Kingdom, Taven and Bennett got kicked out of ringside. Wardlow, who was in a car wreck, or said he was in a car wreck, posted all over Twitter, supposedly earlier, showed up to make sure that Roderick Strong kept his title. And then at the end of this match, the Undisputed Kingdom, along with Adam Cole, come out, and Adam Cole, no boot, able to walk down the ringside. I mean, he was wheeled out in the wheelchair, but he got up. So big magical miracle. It's called rest and rehab. So I don't know if he's ready to get back in the ring. But anyways, Cole walks down the ring. He's healed. Cole is looking deep into the back of Wardlow's head. They're starting that bull crap. I hope they don't do what I keep hearing people talking about, that Wardlow's going to realign with MJF because MJF is going to return to save him from the Undisputed Kingdom. And they're going to be, yay, we're buddies. Retarded.
Nobody's stupid.
Do you remember who's booking the show?
Yes, that's true.
Thank you. Oh, I could repair MJF and Wardlow, and they could be baby faces to take on the Undisputed Kingdom. Is there anything you guys want to add to any of this? I know I'm just like running through the matches, but
you are fine. I understand because there's really not much that can be put more towards it.
So are we going to start having are we going to turn Wardlow into Big Show like Sammy Guevara with more face and heel turns than ever before?
Well, Sammy's always a heel on Twitter, though. It seems like he's a suck up heel. Right. That man's like AEW. Oh, AEW.
Oh.
I don't care. That fool can block me. I have nothing for him anymore. He's turned and flip flopped all over the page. He's been suspended twice from the company. What happens when he gets suspended the third time? Hell, Jack Perry has been more punished than Sammy Guevara and his little stupid stunts. Anyways, the FTW Championship match. Hook versus Jericho. Lionhearted Chris Jericho. And then we got the craziest chants tonight. This is the only exciting part about this match was the chants we got. We've got Fozzy suck chants. We got please retire. Please go away chants. I think we got everything in the world.
Please go home.
Please retire. Please go home. And AEW is the only company that I can recall that you've had at least two different events, two different pay-per-view level events, where you have had wrestlers on that show where the crowd told them to go retire, to go away. The Paul White match, where the match against the Don Callis family that Paul White was in, and of course tonight, Jericho wrestling Hook. This match went 17 minutes and 21 seconds. This match went probably 15 minutes too long. There was a botch in this point because Jericho had pinned Hook. The ref counted one. Jericho put his feet on the ropes. But since it was FTW rules, he could do that. It was legal. So the ref went one, looked up at his feet, was going to say something, and all like, oh yeah, and then counted two. And then went for a third, and he got a kick out. All the fans were like, no, that's three. Week three. You heard the fans chanting three. So that was a bad move. Jericho hit a Judas effect. Hook kicked out. Another Judas effect while he was telling him he's sorry he kicked out. Then Jericho grabbed his bat, begged Hook to make him not do it. At some point, Taz got the biggest pop out of this whole match when he stood up. People thought Taz was going to do something because we haven't seen Taz get in the ring because of his injuries. He really can't get physical. He's on that same level as Arn Anderson. They really just can't do anything because it's that dangerous for them that if something funky, it could be bad. Mental. Anyway, Jericho hits Hook with the bat, knocks him out 1, 2, 3. Taz and Jericho have words. Jericho's your FTW champion.
Way to bury your young talent.
It's not even that to me. The fact that you have a wrestler like Bryan Danielson who's had major concussion issues, and you hit Hook in the head with the bat, you're taking that chance, really? Now, does it make for good drama? Yes, absolutely. But the fact that you're taking that kind of a chance, when it could have been the back, it could have been the shoulders, it could have been anywhere to still tell the same general story that he got knocked out and hurt, whatever. He took it to the head. What? WTF?
Why is Jericho the FTW champion? And I knew this was going to happen. I mean, I know I predicted this because I just felt like this was something Tony was going to do because he needed to get a title around Jericho because they need to make Jericho feel important. When Jericho's done, the best thing for Jericho to do...
This is what happens when you give wrestlers creative control. They can say no. They can say, I'll go home, and you can say whatever.
Have you seen the Twitters where they're comparing Jericho, today Jericho, to WCW Hulk Hogan?
That does not surprise me.
Yeah, and he is. I mean, he's really that creative control. He feels more and more like he's being the Hulk Hogan of AEW, and he does feel like the Hulk Hogan of AEW. And it's just like the best thing for Jericho, Tony, is to take him off the air and let him go away for like 6 months. Let the fans breathe away from him and bring him back when you actually need him to do something. Otherwise, he's done. There's nothing. Nobody wants to see Jericho. This crowd didn't even pop for it. I mean, they chanted, "Please go away." That should have been your sign, but you gave him the FTW champion. No wonder why Hook wants to leave your company. Now, of course, Taz left with Hook, so I don't know if this is storyline related. If Taz is going to leave with Hook, is Hook's becoming a free agent. Hopefully, Hook's a free agent real soon, and Triple H picks up Hook. Hopefully, Taz goes with him and goes and works maybe in NXT as a trainer. Maybe he can come back and be commentator on SmackDown. Not that the SmackDown team between Corey Graves and Wade Barrett is bad, but I mean, but even Taz could go work. I know a lot of people don't like Booker T on NXT. Booker T doesn't seem to be a favorite commentator for a lot of people. Maybe, not a lot of people are a big fan of Booker T in that role, for whatever reason. I think he's okay here and there. I don't watch enough NXT to really make a hard judgment. I mean, maybe you put Taz in that position.
I weave in and out myself, so yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of places. I'm hoping if Hook comes over, Taz comes over, which I would assume he would. I think you'd want to see his son come up to the ranks of Taz. It's somebody that's trying to tell his son to go to WWE. And it's flat out said, you need to go to WWE and learn that system to become better. So.
Or, if he doesn't make it to WWE for whatever reason, there's always TNA.
Yeah, Hook would be a world champion quick, fast, in a hurry on TNA because he'd fit in that world championship category. But, I mean, it's just like this match didn't need to happen. Jericho didn't need to beat Hook. This kills every momentum you had for Hook. Just a month or two back, you had Hook fighting Samoa Joe for the world title. Mm-hmm. And the way I mean, they did good because they kept having to kick out of Judas Effect. I'm like, well, maybe they're trying to build him to look strong. But in the end, he got pinned by Jericho, and everything you did before that, it's dead because you have fans telling Jericho to retire. So you didn't really do anything for Hook here. It didn't make him feel strong or a badass. If he would have gotten the win and beaten Jericho, beaten a veteran, he would have been on that next level to take that next step. But no, you want to give Jericho the FTW title. And I'm sure it's probably going to come back. We're going to have a third match at Double or Nothing. Not that we need a third match of this crap. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't want to know how this goes. I'm just over it.
Any extra sauce, Mr. Z?
I've got
nothing. Want to add to it?
No.
And so, Taz left. Nigel McGuinness came down for commentary from there on out until the main event, and then we'll get into that. But anyways, the AEW Women's World Championship. And at this point, I started realizing we're getting down to the last few matches, and I'm like, are the Youngbucks really getting pushed up this high up the card? But we'll get into that a little more. Time with Toni Storm versus Thunder Rosa. I know Mr. Clarke was happy because wifey Deonna Purrazzo showed up at one point to help take out Mariah May. But everything else was just filler. Thunder Rosa, I think you need to leave AEW and go to TNA or WWE or Mexico or New Japan or somewhere. She gets hit with Storm 0123. This match went 15 minutes, 7 seconds. Toni Storm retains the title. Nobody cared. Nobody was excited. It was.
I was still trying to
Rosa.
figure out Toni Storm's paint, like on her face, like her makeup. I was like, that is
Well,
Sheamus white.
That's neither here nor there. It didn't really add to this match. Thunder Rosa got beaten by Toni Storm, like we knew she would. Thunder Rosa, I don't know how you stay loyal to Tony Khan and AEW, but it's got to be about money because they have buried you too many times. They've just they took you to the heights and then they just pissed you away. Like most of the champions in AEW, when you become world champion after you lose the title, you kind of get pissed off to the side. Go ahead, Mr. Clarke. I know you're a big defender of the women's division in AEW. I know you're a big Thunder Rosa.
Snap about this.
I'm trying to get.
Because I'm still wondering where the bleep is Britt Baker.
I'm assuming she's still recovering from injury.
She hasn't been this long.
I don't know if she's been cleared or what. I don't know. I know we don't have Britt Baker. We don't have Jamie Hayter.
Yep. You knew exactly where I was going with that.
I get it. And I don't know I don't even know how Britt Baker's going to fit back into this roster. She's going to get a pop, but I think everybody's going to be so scared of what she's going to get for Ed with Mercedes Moné. Hell, what's happened to Saraya? All that build that she came out of retirement.
She is now a manager for her brother. That's it.
Well, yeah. But I mean, look at all the hype that was behind her. And
lower tiers. That's on what, Rampage?
Yeah. I mean, look at all the hype when they brought her in.
Herself.
She was coming out of retirement, injury retirement, came out, had the big all-in. Just last year, she was the AEW Women's Division Champion. And then they decided they didn't want her to do it and gave it back to what's her name? Shida, right? Shida lost to Toni Storm. And Shida's a 3-time Women's Champion, and now Toni Storm is a 2-time, and somebody else is a 3-time. It's just like the AEW Women's Champion's joke. And they buried Thunder Rosa, who's probably one of the best talents on that women's roster. Here. And they have Deonna Purrazzo out here, who's probably going to get fed to Toni Storm again. I don't think they're going to give...
At some point before. Well, first she must face Mariah May, I'm sure.
Yes. No, now they're going to have that match. And this is the one... At some point, they're going to let Mariah May finally win and have the match against Toni Storm. And then Mariah May maybe will be able to be Mariah May again and not cosplay as Toni Storm. I don't know who's worse, Mariah May or...
Well, that was a win tonight. Mariah May got to come out as Mariah May and not also Toni Storm.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know whose cosplay is going to be the winner. Mariah May or playing Toni Storm or Mercedes Moné playing Selena Vega. Which I don't know why you want to play Selena Vega because that just doesn't make sense unless she's trying to get with Malachi Black. But that's a whole weird scenario. We don't want to get in that river.
No. Don't just stop right there. You say I put my foot in my mouth. Let's just
Anyways, from there we got probably one of the greatest matches in professional wrestling, probably the match of the year for 2024, hands down, for a wrestling match. This was a great match. We got Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson, and then this is when it sank into me. The second match to the main event is going to be the Youngbucks. I'm like, really? The Youngbucks get that high of a build on a pay-per-view? With the worst storyline.
MVPs, damn it.
Well, it's them and FTR4. Like, they need this win.
Anyways, Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson tore down the house. I mean, they brought it on every level. This was a great wrestling match.
Burnt it to the ground.
This was the back and forth here. The hidden blade into a Bushido knee. I mean, just the incredible moments here, and then ending up with Ospreay hitting the hidden blade when Danielson was going for the Bushido, and then he hit him with a Tiger Driver 93 that looked vicious, and you really have to slow it down to see that Danielson did land on the higher end of his shoulder blades.
I had to.
He didn't land on his shoulders. He didn't land flat, but he landed high. And Mr. Z's like, that's how you're supposed to land. Mr. Z probably has the most experience out of all of us, so I trust his judgment. But my complaint here is this match was great. Why did we need to end it that way? Why do we even need to give us even a hint? If Bryan Danielson's really injured, that's a whole different thing. If he really got injured in that moment, which I highly doubt, it's one thing. Now, if he landed this way and he's faking an injury, why? If Bryan Danielson's going off of TV and he's going to go away for a while and you want to give him an injury, I understand that, but I'm like, can we not do it with Bryan Danielson, who's had enough real injuries in life that it's like, do we really need to draw on that emotional string of the fans are like, we just don't want to see Bryan get hurt anymore. Like, no, it's not even a funny joke. Now, the only other scenarios, I'm assuming that maybe they're going to let Ospreay go heel. Maybe he is going to align himself with the Don Callis family. It's going to be one of these stories where he did show in the ring that he was compassionate to Bryan, but I'm wondering if they're going to spin this story where Bryan's going to be like, you injured me, and there's going to be this confrontation that's going to build this story, and Ospreay's going to try and apologize and to be like, fuck it, I don't, I should have broken you anyways. I don't know. If it's a heel turn storyline, I might accept it. If it's just to write Danielson off the TV, I might no, because I'm like, that's just a fucked up heartstring to pull on, because we're already scared enough of Bryan getting hurt. I'm like, just to write him off TV, we'd be fine if you're like, Bryan comes out and goes, I gotta go away for a little bit. We're like, that's cool. We respect that. I don't need a fake injury Bryan to go away. I don't need it.
First of all, we don't know if he's going away or not. We don't know what's happening with him.
No.
We just know what we saw tonight.
No, that's why I talked about the 3 different scenarios.
If it is kayfabe, the point, I believe, is to have that sympathy. Because all the Blackpool combat guys are like, they go between heel and face themselves.
Yes.
As needed per situation.
Yes.
But because this is Daniel Bryan's last year, I think Tony Khan's trying to keep him in the sympathetic role regardless.
He just needs to be real careful with it because it's Bryan, and a part of it's like, I can get it. If there's a payoff to it, I'll accept it. But if it's just for him to go away, I'm going to be pissed because it's just like, I don't need fake Bryan being fake injured to go away. I'm like, we know Bryan Danielson's, I don't want to call him like fragile, but we know that he's had a lot of serious injuries, and we know his neck issues that he worked so hard to come back from.
Him. Yes, I understand.
Yeah, very.
So,
and here's the thing. First off, Commonwealth Kingpin, the aerial assassin, got his pound of flesh tonight. No complaints about the match at all. I mean, I was in the back watching it because the kids took over the front room, and I was probably louder than all the kids in the house put together during that match. I literally could not sit down during that match. But if this is the way Danielson is going out, that's the wrong way to do it. And like I told you guys before, I've seen this move hit multiple times. He hit exactly, but if there is that slight chance that maybe he does have damage done to that part of his neck, then I get it. But they should have not had the cameras on him. They should have been panning the crowd.
It was very weird how they ended it because it was like as soon as he hit, he started shaking. The ref was going over, and then he get medical, and then Ospreay hit the hidden blade. And they're trying to sell this idea that Ospreay didn't know that Danielson was injured, which is fine. You get that. But I'm like, that may be playing into more if this is a kayfabe thing, which I hope this is going to lead to their rematch. But we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. A lot of this is contingent on how they pay it off. And that's where I'm getting a little because then afterwards, all the medical team got in there, and then Ospreay was like, oh, wait, finally realized, like, oh, is he really hurt? And so it was very confusing. If people were there, I think they would know more. I'd like to hear from somebody who was actually at St. Louis in that crowd to see what they saw afterwards. Did they carry him out on a cart? Did they, did he walk out on his own? Because it was very quickly when they finally decided to cut and start talking about the tag team match. When they came back to the ring, everything was gone. And it wasn't much time between that for all that to happen. So I'm assuming he walked out with a limp or an injury, but not on a stretcher, so.
Here's the other problem to this whole situation. Whether it's kayfabe or not, Bryan Danielson, WWE indoctrinated. Yeah. He is very good at his job. So when something real happens, you have a certain reaction, but you don't know because he is so good at his job on selling. So we're going to have to see how this goes. That
kind of takes me back to NXT Kyle O'Reilly when he got dropped with the Brainbuster. The way he sold it, people were really concerned that he might have seriously got injured.
And I wish this match did end
inside. Yeah, it didn't need to end that way.
I wish it wouldn't end with the. If it's a real injury, it's a whole different story. But if it's a kayfabe, I'm like, did we really need that to be a story part of the ending of this match? Like, could we not just have the greatest match of the year, one of the greatest matches in professional wrestling that's going to go down in history, and let it end in just a normal match that gives Ospreay his moment without everybody? Because it does kind of step on Ospreay's moment, because everybody's like, is Bryan really hurt? Is Bryan hurt? When Ospreay should be celebrating being the greatest of he just proved that he's the greatest professional wrestler alive today. So it kind of stomps on that, because now people are like, is this real, or is this? I mean, that's going to be more of the tape than Ospreay being the true Billy Goat, the true greatest of all times in the modern era. Now, if that's what everybody's saying.
This was during the match, and one of the highlights for me in that match was the Billy Goats headbutting in the middle of the ring until they couldn't do it no more. That told such a beautiful story, because we have the GOAT and we have two Billy Goats that they've gone in their own direction. It was beautiful. This match was poetry.
Yes. Oh, it's a great match.
Wow, you couldn't do any better than that.
And Tony Khan had nothing to do with this match. He just put it on. He just booked it. This match was done because of the artists in the ring.
Yeah.
But honestly, I feel like the big talk is going to be tomorrow is we're going to get the back and forth. We're going to hear all the stories. It's going to be about what is Bryan Danielson's status. And I think that really sucks when it should be a moment that everybody's talking about Will Ospreay. But unfortunately, all eyes are going to be on Bryan Danielson, because he had so many surgeries, and then we lost him for so many years. As much as Adam Copeland, it's like, did you really need to use Bryan Danielson to fake an injury if it's kayfabe? They better make it pay off. That's all, Tony. You better make sure you pay this one off, because if you don't, I think the fans riot. I think the fans are going to get mad lit.
I want to know, again, speaking of all that, I'm pretty sure there's a scrum going on that we're going to probably watch after we're off.
Yeah, the scrum's going on about the same time we are, unfortunately, which sucks in some aspects, because we're competing against the scrum and other podcasters, but that's what we kind of got to do until we build our way.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard any updates from anything at this point, other than the tampon trio here holding all their titles. Gag me.
The soft serve tampon bucks. Okay.
There you go.
And I still haven't been blocked. I was hoping tonight would be the night.
Marty Richards dared them to block him. Flat out. But they wouldn't do it. I don't see any updates on anything there, so let's get back over here. Let's wrap this up, because we have the tag team ladder match. So you just had a 5-star match that people were chanting everything. And
wait! Some guys over here asking, who the hell am I? Because I was cracking jokes the fact that he got mad and called me an E-drone.
Where the value of wrestling's New Japan Pro Wrestling's.
Yeah.
Like, podcaster extraordinaire. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, and then we had the tag team match, the ladder match. The Tampon Bucks versus FTR. This Dax got cut open pretty quickly in this match. Bled quite a bit. This is another one of those spot monkey shows where everybody pulled off moves after high flying move, after move after move after high flying move. If you wanted just a train wreck, just a total car wreck of just bodies crashing through everything and anything, to a whole point where the fans started chanting, "Please be careful." That's how severe this match got. People were chanting like, "Please, like, okay, we got you. We don't need to see you get out of here."
Well, at least it's not like an indie show where they would go, "Please don't die. Please don't die."
So we got that. Eventually, Dax was up on top of the ladder. It looked like FTR was going to win. When a man in a mask came flying out of the crowd, security was right on his tail, but he pushed over the ladder with Dax on it, knocked it off. The security weirdly pinned him into the turnbuckle corner, ripped off his face mask, and pulled back his hood to realize that it was the scapegoat, Jack Perry. And he just smiled. People were like, "Oh, okay," as it was expected. Security then stood there a while they realized, "Oh, it's Jack Perry. Are we really supposed to be tackling him?" It was very confusing. It just was bad to me, because it was like he came in through the crowd, knocked him off the ladder. Youngbucks climbed up. I think Matthew climbed up, got the titles. Young Bucks win.
No, it was Nicholas.
Jack Perry comes out there and then instantly gets carted away. They're like, oh, he's trespassing. And I'm just like, okay, he's indefinitely suspended. He tore up his AEW contract. We don't know what his status is. The scapegoat's here. I just thought it was kind of stupid. Like, they should just have him come out and be, come out through the tunnel and show up. Like, have his music play. You might have got a bigger pop. I think they missed an opportunity here for a moment because he came through and he really didn't get a pop. And I don't think people were really that big. Oddly, the Young Bucks were getting a little more cheer than FTR at the beginning of this match. And then it just kind of was like a fizzle. Like, nobody really, it was just, the loudest they got was when they were telling everybody to be careful. And then when Jack Perry came out, everybody was like, oh! And that was it.
It fell flat.
It did. It didn't do anything for anybody. FTR kind of feels boring. The Young Bucks win their titles. They don't get a loud celebration or a big pop or anything. Jack Perry returning to the company didn't get the pop that I think they could have gotten. I don't know if they could have. The story's so diluted. It doesn't make sense. Hopefully they write it to make sense because would be Tony Khan suspending Jack Perry in the theory of how everybody's trying to tell it in AEW that, they're the victims. Jack Perry was the victim, but then Jack Perry got suspended and was blamed for all of it by Tony Khan. That's how he came to the scapegoat scenario, which he's carrying over in the AEW. So he's going to be the scapegoat in the company with the boss that made him the scapegoat, which is, I'm telling you, I think Tony Khan's going to have to. I think Tony Khan's going to be forcing himself into becoming an on-screen character. He's got the out of control. He's bored. He's like right there though. I mean, he's got.
I understand.
He's got the out of control EVPs, and now he has a man that's a scapegoat. And if you're the scapegoat and you're pissed off that you wanted to leave AEW, tear up your contract, what were you the scapegoat for? Oh, what happened between you and CM Punk? So who made you the scapegoat? Who blamed you? That would be Tony Khan. So it's like he should technically be mad as the scapegoat in that story to make it make sense at Tony Khan.
Yes, I agree with that. I'm just saying,
your daddy.
Yes. I just don't think Tony Khan's going to play a direct role as a character. I think he's going to have his avatars, the EVPs, do it.
Mm-hmm.
But by association, if he continues to put himself in the positions that he does, by opticals, he's going to make himself kind of this on-screen character. He's kind of putting himself in that place where he's almost forcing himself to do something. It's optics. It's just, of course, if he goes heel boss, I don't think AEW has the big baby face unless they're going to use MJF to be the big baby face to take down the heel boss. Well, tell me who they have in AEW who can be the quote unquote.
Again, I understand your argument. I just don't like the idea.
Don't put that in ether.
Okay, but let's talk about if Tony Khan is using the EVPs as his avatars and the scapegoat and these people are all aligned and they're out of control and he doesn't want to be an on-screen character, who takes down the big bosses? Who's the big baby face to take down Tony Khan and his avatars?
Because he's still technically contracted to the company, despite being retired, is Sting.
But you mean have him become a manager and bring a group of people together to take him down?
Something along those lines.
Because you can't.
I don't think you're going to use the term general manager, but it would serve as the same point.
Could be commissioner, general manager, I guess. So he would be but you still need the in-ring baby face that's going to fight them off in the ring. That's my other point. You can have Sting be the face of that as, the commissioner, the general manager who's trying to bring order and balance, but you still need that Austin-esque, you need that baby face who's actually going to get in the ring and do the work. They don't have a CM Punk or a Cody to come be their savior.
This is how you know I'm trolling now, when I want to say a name like Hangman Page.
Oh, gee, man.
You see me trolling.
Breaking news, guys, real quick. This is fresh out of the press scrum. Will Ospreay is retiring the Storm Driver 93.
So he's never doing it again?
No.
Why?
Because they're saying he revealed the footage and it looked like Danielson got injured. So he apologized and said he will not be using that move again.
Now, I thought it was called the Stormbreaker.
The
Why they-
Stormbreaker's the twisting neck breaker.
But see, everything I read, they called it the Tiger Driver 99. So, I mean...
This is the Storm Driver 93 move altogether. He is going to retire it.
Because he injured Bryan with it.
Yes.
Well,
So-
that's one way to sell the drama.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting where they're going to take this.
We need a payoff. Tony, we need a
Whoa,
payoff.
whoa. Wait, make sure you're specific with Tony Khan. We need a good payoff.
A good payoff. Good payoff. You did great tonight by even putting these guys in the ring and having them put this match on for everybody. Do it again.
Welcome to the voting.
Dynamite.
Well, I thank everybody for voting. We have 11 votes overall. We have a mixed batch. It's weighing heavier on this was an awesome show. Between average and then good and vanilla are at the 18%. So, yeah, we have kind of a mixed basis here, which is nice to see. So it's not over the top that it was awesome. It's not over the top that it just sucked. But I think, we're about in the middle of there. It was good and average
We got a mixed
overall.
bag. All right.
So it's good to see people voting. We appreciate you voting. Make sure you continue to vote. And you're always welcome to join in the chat, join in the conversation. Youngbucks win. Then become 3-time AEW Tag Team Champions. The EVPs and the Elite now have 3 belts. So they're the golden EVPs.
And
Jack Perry.
I am being hunted by the AEW tribalistic fans right now. They do not like me.
What do you mean you're being hunted, sir?
Apparently someone didn't like my Conor McGregor gift that I posted his way of who the fook is this guy, and he's mad. I heard his feelings.
Well, I'm surprised they're not going after Marty, because Marty put out their hashtag cheap bucks, hashtag tampon bucks. Do not do anything special. Scapegoat crawls home to all friends wrestling. Hashtag tampon bucks for your CM Punk facts. That came from Marty Richards, though. And I'm surprised you haven't posted on this one, the one where they have the Elite with all the gold.
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, yeah, it's right there. I don't see any updates on a Bryan. No updates on Bryan anywhere that I see at this moment. Still waiting on that. Anyways, the Tampon Bucks win the tag team titles. Whoopie freaking do. There is, like, in the sad part, there's nobody in the tag team division to put against the Bucks. That's what's going to be hard. Is who? Oh, I guess the Motor City Machine Guns can show up and be the saviors against the Bucks. That's probably what we're going to go with. They'll probably show up on Dynamite.
No, man. What about Private Party? Shots. You see me trolling. You hating.
I'm just beeping you out. All right. This leads us to the main event, the AEW World. Go ahead.
What's in Tony Khan's coffee cup right now? Because that boy just looks lit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we had a great night. We did it all. We're great. We sold out a building of 6,000 people. We sold it out. We're great. We're awesome. We're the best. We're the safest. We have the best medical staff that wrestling can buy. Buy. Yes, I gotta go buy more wrestlers.
Right.
You see what you did, Tony? You done made this man mad.
Well, he lets Okada go out there looking like vanilla ice cream. How am I not supposed to be mad? I'm not even a New Japan Pro Wrestling guy. Why aren't you mad about it? Why aren't you out here just lighting him on fire? That's your boy, your New Japan Pro Wrestling. I mean, look behind you. Only one name behind you means anything tonight. Switchblade, yeah, he won the other titles, but he's still mid. And Okada coming out looking like vanilla ice cream.
I tried, and it just, I can't defend him anymore. I can't.
No, big time. You're just a hater.
I don't give a hoot what you think. I can be a hater because Tony Khan's made it that way. I'm just telling you facts. If you don't like the facts, I'm sorry. This is real life. I know this fruity pebble generation is like, oh, you gotta agree with me, well, you're wrong. No, I'm not certain other people out here are going to tell you if you don't agree with me, you're wrong. You can feel however you.
He's not who he once was, and I blame that on the Tampon Bucks, because for some strange reason, having a Team Chaos member, leader, whatever he was at one point, joining up with the Young Bucks, who were Bullet Club through and through for the longest part of their career, because they're friends off air, is ridiculous. They brought him in, they presented him like nothing, they gave him a nothing belt, and he's reduced to being vanilla.
You two just need to stop putting that haterade.
Cool. I mean, again, we're always here to tell you you can believe what you want and you don't have to agree with us, and that's fine. We're not going to be sitting here telling you it's our way or the highway. But at the end of the day, if you don't look at the fact that the way that Okada's been presented, that he doesn't feel important, he doesn't feel any value, he's not bringing asset, he's not bringing attention to the company. He debuted, everybody was like, cool, and then he's been flatlined. I'd rather watch Chef Jarrett on AEW TV.
Wow! News press, breaking news. Listen to Big Time. He will never say that.
Just Jeff Jarrett by himself or the rest of the crew?
Give me Sanjay Dutt and Satam Giant Dum Singh too. Cool. I'll take it all because at least they do something. At least there's some comedy routine to it. At least I got something I can laugh at. At least they invoke emotions. Okada doesn't evoke nothing, just boredom. Just like, where's the Clorox?
The biggest pop of the night for Okada was him giving the crowd the finger.
Yes. You still thought he was going to do his whole zoom out thing. It's like, no, finger.
And you know what? We have Stone Cold Steve Austin to thank, because if Austin hadn't done it first, he wouldn't have done it tonight.
I don't know about all that, but
you see me trolling.
We hating. See us singing dirty.
Jeez.
Can we get to the main event?
Main event, Strickland versus Samoa Joe. A match that had some decent storytelling, some decent booking. We knew what tonight was going to be about. And it kind of felt like it got stomped on. Great match. Swerve had to finish Joe off like 2 or 3 times before Joe finally submitted. Swerve gets a big win here. He is your new AEW World Champion, the first ever black AEW World Champion. Congratulations to Swerve Strickland. Huge win here. He deserves this. Mad respect. But what breaks my heart was other storylines or other crap that Tony Khan pulled and other people associated with that whole storyline kind of stomped on the story. And then having having Ospreay and Bryan Danielson, like, them one match and then this world title match, the audience was dead. They were spent. They were tired. So you got the Swerve's House chance a little bit, but you could tell the crowd was tired by the time this match came on. Not only that, we were 5.5 hours into the show by the time this match finally came on. People were tired. People were burnt out. They just had that major match between Ospreay and Bryan Danielson that went 31 minutes. And so I think it's just sad that Swerve, he won, he deserves it, but I don't feel like he had the moment winning the title that he should have. He should have been on par of feeling like a moment that Cody got. There should have been a big celebration. And he got some confetti, but you could tell the crowd wasn't overly excited. They were burnt out, I would say, for the most part, but then it was just kind of like, okay. And they kind of felt like people were like, okay, we're done, let's move on. Which is sad to me. I think Swerve just deserve better.
Give that man his flowers, please, because he deserves it.
I kind of hate to say it, but maybe they should have had Ospreay, Bryan open this match, because that would have got the crowd lit up, and then they could have, recovered by the end of this night. But yeah. But by the end of the night, the fans were worn out, and it was a long show for one, and then I just think they were worn out. That it was like, cool, Swerve won, but it did feel like it was just kind of like we moved on to the next thing.
So I guess now, starting from Dynamite and moving forward, we see what they do with this championship reign. Who is the next contender? Do they have a rematch with Samoa Joe? Do they,
This is
a new number one
AEW.
contender?
This is AEW. When does a loser of the title ever really get a rematch? I think CM Punk's about the
Samoa Joe, though.
Yeah, I think CM Punk's been the only one that's actually gotten a rematch for a title he lost. Most of the time, they all moved to the back of the line and got to start over again. And again, we've already had Joe and Swerve in several different matches, so we need to see Swerve and Joe again so Joe can get his title back. Do I need to see Swerve beat Joe again? I think it's kind of, I love Joe, and Joe was a great champion and deserved it and had a great moment. But I think Joe can go do something else. He can go away, go on vacation for a little bit, and then come back later. I think Swerve needs to move on because we've already been, the last 3 months have been Swerve and Joe and Hangman and Swerve and Joe and all these pieces. And it's like Swerve didn't win the last one, and then he finally won this one clean, dominantly. It's like that's kind of done. I mean, to come back to it and have a rematch, I don't know if you really need to have Swerve beat Joe again in a rematch. It's just kind of like, I don't think that's necessary.
Maybe not. I was kind of surprised though. I was almost waiting for Hangman to come out. It wouldn't surprise me if they revisit that.
That's where I think they're going to go. I think you'll see I was waiting for Hangman to come on, but thankfully they didn't do that. I think Tony understood he needed to at least let Swerve have some of his moment, even though he didn't get the moment that I believe he should have. He should have had a Cody Rhodes WrestleMania moment, period. It didn't hit that level. I think on Dynamite this week, we may see the return of Hangman. We're going to build out the Hangman Swerve feud. The only thing bad about that is you take the title off of Swerve and give it to Hangman, because Hangman needs to beat Swerve. He's already down, 2 or 3 to Swerve now? So
I don't know if he'll be beating Swerve, but
I don't think so, but how can Hangman sustain another loss to Swerve when he already looks like a giant pooch? I guess it really doesn't matter because he's already just so buried under Swerve that losing again just goes, you're like, nah. So I'm assuming Double or Nothing, we're going to get Swerve versus Hangman. Because Hangman's whole thing was, I'm not going to let you have the title. Well, now he has the title, so Hangman should be out here to do everything he can to take the title away from Swerve. The only thing about that is, what if Hangman does beat Swerve and becomes the AEW champion again?
Yeah, it looks like this is the feud that never ends, and I don't know if we need to go that far. I think Swerve needs to be in one more time, and then be done.
Cowboy music.
But then what does that really do with Swerve? Is Swerve going to become a transitional champion? Are we doing Swerve and Hangman at Double or Nothing? You have Hangman win, and we're coming up to All In at London, which is the end of August. So we're right around the corner from there, and I'm assuming the way they're building Ospreay, because they're already talking about, he's number 3 in the rankings. By All In, I think Ospreay is going to be the number 1 contender.
But you keep saying that Hangman's going to take the title. I'm saying no. Swerve takes the title at least until All In.
No, I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying there's a chance, because Hangman hasn't defeated Swerve. Could Hangman win that title from Swerve? Should he? No. Swerve needs that championship. So we could get Swerve versus Ospreay.
Yeah.
That could be a good match. But regardless, whoever is champion going All In, I think Ospreay's coming out with that title.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
That's a given.
That's the only sad thing. It's like even if we get Swerve champion in the All In, so we're gonna get 1, 2, 4 months of Swerve as champion. It's kind of like, that's a letdown. I like to see Swerve. He's worked so hard. The story they told behind him. Like, I wish he was getting a longer title run, but I just have to believe by the end of August at All In Wimbledon, Ospreay's walking out with that belt, just because Tony Khan, and I get it. You're going to get a huge pop. You're going to get a huge celebration. You're going to get a huge moment. They did it last year with Saraya, and now they can do it this year with Ospreay. Hopefully they just let Ospreay's run mean something more than Saraya's run.
Fair.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your AEW Dynasty review show for April 21st, 2024. We've talked about it. We've ranted about it. We've discussed it. We've had 78 people come through here. I don't know what else there is to say. Is there anything else that you guys, gentlemen, feel that needs to be added to this show?
No, I think it was summing it up. I mean, overall, it was a good show.
It was an average show. I mean, I hate the fact that it was an average show. I mean, I don't think there was outside of out of one match that really
one match
that blew it out of the water. Everything else and everything up to that match was kind of mid. The tag team match,
For you.
yes, that's what I'm saying. It was average. I don't think there was anything great or over the top on this card other than Ospreay, Bryan Danielson.
See, that's why in the poll I didn't vote awesome. I voted good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's sad that card is on this match, and then it's kind of the rest of the card kind of just yeah. And I think that's what hurt. The last two matches might have been better if they didn't have to come after that match. Everything that came before it wasn't even trying to even be anything realistic. And again, a lot of the matches on this card didn't have any significant build to get you interested anyways. I mean, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, you knew it would happen, but I don't think we needed it that soon. They could have milked that a little longer, let that breathe.
I agree.
I think you could
But
have
we've always
had...
said that the building. We always said the build was crap.
Yeah.
It was like to even continue to talk about it seems pointless.
Yeah.
I was only looking at the pay-per-view for what it is. The things we knew were going to be crap. I came in with it with no expectations because we already knew the build was crap.
Yeah.
So you either had found things in it that you enjoyed or you didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So we will be back. Me and Mr. Clarke will be back tomorrow night with your Monday Night Raw review show. We'll do a whole post-show review on what happens on Monday Night Raw. I know a lot of people are upset because Cody Rhodes is not going to be on Raw. So it's going to be like the third show well, because he wasn't on Raw last week. He didn't really show up on SmackDown. He did a pre-recorded show, and he's not going to be on Raw. Hey, he's a SmackDown superstar. He doesn't need to be on Raw. Sorry about your damn luck. And they're promoting a tour over in Europe, so he's over there as the world champion. That's fine. The world champion, because they're like, oh, this is the era of the part-timer. Cody Rhodes is no part-timer. Cody Rhodes is there. He's in events in Europe. He's working every night of this week. They just had a house show that sold...
stars are out there right now.
They just had a house show that sold out 7,000 people. A house show for WWE sold 7,000 tickets. AEW Dynasty in St. Louis. And they were in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So I don't know if Cody was there because they got the European tour. I don't know who was there, but they sold 7,000 people out at Fort Wayne, Indiana. The big news coming out of there is Karrion Kross calling it Fort Wayne, Indiana, getting a lot of love out of there. So that's good to see Karrion Kross getting some heel heat. Fort Wayne, Indiana, and St. Louis, Missouri are about 370 miles apart, and if you need that, drive time, it's about 5 hours. It'll take you 5 hours to drive there, so they're not really that far apart. So a WWE house show event sold 7,000 plus tickets. A AEW pay-per-view Dynasty sold around, I think they said 6,400 and was not a sold-out show because even as the show was going on, I looked and you could book tickets for $6. So Cody not being there is not a big deal. Cody's not a part-timer. He's going to be there every week. Again, why do we have to reiterate that we're in a holding pattern? There's a draft coming up. They're going to switch up the brands. They're going to move some things around. The stories are on hold. You know Cody's going to be... They're like, oh, Cody's never defending the title. When is he going to finally defend the title? Fucking at Backlash next Saturday. It's AJ Styles in a match. That's going to be a banger of a match. Trust me. AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes are going to bring you a high level. And if Dave Meltzer could get his head out of Tony Khan's rear end, he might actually give a WWE a 5-star match. Because I guarantee you, Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles can deliver a 5-star match.
Oh, yeah.
So Cody Rhodes not being on Raw. He's a SmackDown wrestler for one, so he shouldn't be there. And two, we don't need him. And that gives the other guys. There's a bigger storyline. What is going on with Sami Zayn and Chad Gable? And Chad Gable was teaming up at a house show in Fort Wayne, Indiana with Finn Balor. There'll be something interesting to figure out what that is going on with that storyline if they're having on a house show, Balor and Chad Gable working together.
And on top of that, Raw has their own main event world heavyweight champion. I mean, like,
Yes. We're going to have a match to see who's going to take on Damian Priest, let alone the women's title match. We're going to crown a new WWE World Women's Championship in some type of battle royal. So there's a lot of things on Raw that are going to be interesting. What is Judgment Day is up to? What is happening with Chad Gable and Sami Zayn? Where are they going? there's a lot of things going on there, and then we have a draft on Friday. So me and Mr. Clarke will be here tomorrow night with Raw review. Get excited for Raw. If you're not excited about it, I don't know what to tell you. Go celebrate your AEW tribalistic, go chant around your fire circle. Go chant Tony
Khan.
Khan.
Talk to me on X because I'm getting all the heat right now. And that's
go chant around your fire for Tony Khan and do all the praise, whatever. Get on your Reddit and praise Tony Khan. You know how to book good shows. Tony Khan is God in booking. Tony Khan, we love you. Well, I mean, that's what they say on Reddit and all these sheets that he reads, right? Meltzer's over there going, I love Tony Khan. He's like my unbiological son. I wish I could adopt him. My boy, I'm so proud of him. I give him 5 stars for just being on show. I give Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson 10 stars because I am wrestling star god. I can do whatever I want. Tell me when I'm lying, okay? I just say. Anyways, me and Mr. Clarke will be here Monday with your post-show review of Monday Night Raw. Mr. Z will be here with you on Tuesdays with your New Japan Pro Wrestling Rebound podcast, where I guess he's going to give you a slideshow of different outfits that Okada's worn throughout the years of wrestling to show you that he's not just Mr. Vanilla. Then I will be here on Wednesdays with your Dynamite show, so we'll figure out what all the fallout of all this crap is. Hopefully we find out Bryan Danielson's not really injured. Thursdays, Mr. Clarke brings you This Week in Preview, and then we're back with Friday with the SmackDown show. And then we'll be back next Sunday with your the
weekly roundup.
Your weekly roundup podcast. And so it'll be a nice weekend this weekend, and the next weekend it's going to be Backlash from France. So that'll probably be a midday podcast because I don't know what the hour time difference is for France and when it's going to air here. And then the end of May will be a lot more fun because we're going to have back-to-back nights, Saturday, Sunday, one night of WWE King and Queen of the Ring from Saudi Arabia. So that'll be an early morning show. And then we will have on Sunday night Double or Nothing from Las Vegas, Nevada. The cat even knows I'm too worked up and need to come down. She's gotten up here and she's purring. She's like, "Calm down, Daddy."
Calmate,
Okay.
homie. Calmate.
She is leaning into me. Feel her weight against me. She's just, I ain't up against me like, it's okay. No, it's not quite. It's hot tub time, really, for me. It's getting close to bedtime. It's late now.
Time for that ice bath
42.
right now. That's what I got to do.
I'm sorry. Did I move my arm to that and upset you? I saw that. You were like, "Hey, put that on." Just hold me. We must calm down. We must woo-saw. Tony Khan. Tony Khan.
I was going to say,
Tony
the
Khan.
people
No,
that
it
can
doesn't
see you
work.
on
I'm sorry.
YouTube, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right on YouTube.
What do you mean it doesn't look right?
How you're stroking, it doesn't look right.
Oh, because they
on
don't
our
see
camera,
the...
we see the cat, but they don't see.
Yeah,
the
I know.
cat
You
on-
see the cat. They can't see the cat. The cat's here. I mean,
They can see your hand moving. And you're just like-
it's a cat in my arm. Okay, get over it. It is what it is.
he
That's
talked
okay.
about OnlyFans, folks. Remember that.
That was your story, okay? Mr. Clarke was talking about being on whatever the cam shows, and you're over here talking about OF, and I'm just like, I don't know how we even started the show off that way. And here we are ending the show on the same note. All because you wanted to bring it back.
Because off air Miguel was vaping, and I was just making an observation.
So
We'll have
I
to
watch
talk
too
more
much of
about
the wrong
that off air.
content sometimes.
we came back full circle. So I mean, I guess Mr. Z is advertising his other services. So if you want to go look him up on other pages, you can shout out your handle if that's what you need to do.
It's right underneath me, guys.
He does. He thinks he's King Bowser. Anywho.
Only to the kids. Only to the kids.
That's a really bad statement to say right now with where that all went.
Yeah, I know.
That's just like Ollie to the kids. Yeah, okay, boy. He means his own kids, ladies and gentlemen. He has
My own
children. He's
kids.
talking about his kids. What?
My own kids. My own
Yes,
kids.
okay. I thought you said all kids for a
Does that make
second.
it
And I'm
really
like,
sound any better though?
No, not at all. It's late, folks.
yes,
We're loopy.
I think we need to get off air.
Yeah, we're getting off air.
yes. We're
Because
gonna wrap this
about
up.
to say something silly.
This is what happened when Tony Khan puts us through 5.5 hours of pay-per-view with matches that
Fair.
just like go. Okay, Have we done yet? And of course
Sober
we got
folks.
a 32-minute banger match between Bryan Danielson and Ospreay where you couldn't stop to breathe because it was just like. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we went 1 hour 30 minutes as of right now. We're gonna close this out. Gentlemen, tell them adios, goodbye, good night, say farewell, whatever it is you want to say.
Yeah.
Have a good night, everyone.
I'm changing who I am. I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. Yeah, you ain't see me activated. You better hope that you never see me agitated. I think about my actions, plan them out, evaluated. That's how I end up on the top, man. I'm calculated. My mind's a weapon, my body is the engine. I'm never second guessing. I just do what I was destined, cause I feel I got the blessing. Persistence and obsession, that's how you keep progressing. I already learned that lesson, yeah. I'm changing who I am. I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You can't stop what's moving. You can't stop what's moving. I'm changing my life, and I won't look back ever again. No fear, see clear.